Your relationship with China is not a zero-sum exercise. You compete, but you also cooperate. If you have more trade with China, China gains, you gain too. In fact, that's what's been happening. People in America often talk about the threat from things made in China, sold cheap in Walmart. But in fact, your exports to China have grown very rapidly. And it's been a plus for any number of American industries, all the way from Boeing to cars to pharmaceuticals to insurance services. You are there. So when it comes to the TPP, you can say, well, it gives America a head start because you're in on a major trade agreement which includes a big part of the Asia Pacific, in fact, a significant part of the world. But actually, what you're looking for is a longer term where you have free trade in the whole of the Asia Pacific. The ideal was to do it in APEC. That was the initial motivation for APEC, really, trade liberalization in the Asia Pacific. Initially, China was not in, but China came in pretty early after 2 or 3 meetings. And you want to have a free trade in the Asia Pacific, including all these countries. But honestly speaking, I think even with a very great ambition, that's too hard to do straight away. Because if you wanted to have Japan, China, America, and all the other countries in, just the first 3 would keep you busy reconciling their difficulties before the rest of us got a word in. So it's not going to happen. But you do want to move, and you can move piecemeal. And then it's messy, it's overlapping, but it covers the ground, and hopefully our grandchildren or children will have the wisdom and the basis on which to take the next step and rationalize, simplify, expand, and make a less imperfect cooperation. So the TPP is one big part of what's happening in the Asia Pacific. But there are other pieces as well. There's this thing called a Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which covers a lot of the countries on the western side of the Pacific, including China and Japan and Korea. And China and Korea are not in the TPP, but some of the other members are. And ASEAN has got an FTA, or economic community, amongst itself. So it's a very messy patchwork, but it covers the whole of the Asia Pacific. With the TPP, you are part of the game. And you are setting the rules. Well, you have helped to set norms and expectations which will cover many economies. And one day, others will be able to join you. And if you ask whether the Chinese will join the TPP, initially they looked at it very much askance. Now they are looking at it quizzically. It's different. They are still skeptical, but they are not hostile. They are trying to understand this. What will it take? They're not ready yet, but one day, I think, they are not averse to the idea of being part of this group. I think they believe that you will want to set high rules and make sure that the entrance fee is not too low, to put it mildly. But I don't think they rule out being part of the party. So I think that there is, well, if you call that setting the rules, I think it's not a bad thing to do.